some frozen water right there. I don't know if you can see it. That's not covered by snow. It's a clear reality of what's underneath that snow, and I tell you, it's a little bit scary. I'm tempted to go down there, but man, that's just, I don't know. It's temperatures have not been above freezing, but they've been in the 20s. So I'm gonna play it safe. This is the coast of Kotzebue. I used to live on the coast. I don't anymore. I snowmobiled over this water, over this ice when I first got here. I lived over there. I can see the house from here, but it's this one, this gray one right there. That's where I lived for a couple weeks. But I left because of mold. And I'm feeling much better, by the way. I've had no issues since I've left. But it took me a good week to get over that. As they're plowing. Which was the worst bout of the reaction to mold I've ever had, to be honest. So today's Wednesday. I didn't have to go to work today. And today was going to be a cardio day for me. Kind of a recovery day from training anyway. And so I wanted to make sure I got out and took a walk. It's been snowing and storming. Planes weren't flying lately. But I looked outside and the sun was out and there was very little wind. So this time of year, that's rare, and I really wanted to get out. I had to go run an errand to that house that I used to live in. I had to return a couple totes, and I left my friend Christian's jacket over there that he let me use when we went snowmobiling. They don't call it snowmobiling here. That's what I'm used to calling it, but this is like an $800 jacket. It's goose down. It's, just got all kinds of special material in it, so I want to make sure I got it. I also left some gluten-free bread over there in the freezer, but it was gone. So, oh well, my loss. So yeah, this is my new neighborhood here. Well, it's not my new neighborhood, I shouldn't say that. As opposed to Shungnak, my new neighborhood. You've seen a little bit of it already. Thought I would just make a video on my way home, as long as I can hold this camera up. I'm missing my Steadicam, really missing my Steadicam. So sorry about the bounciness. I'm trying to replace it. Anyway, as I'm finishing out my last year of my 40s, I'm gonna be 50 in August, which sounds ridiculous. I can't believe that I'm that age. Does anybody ever feel 50? I never heard anybody really say that. I know people look like they're 50 sometimes, but maybe because I don't really look 50. I'm 49, I think I look 39 in a lot of respects, not every respect. So I think I just look in the mirror and I'm like, I can't be 50. Plus it goes so fast. So I'm thinking about the things that I've done in my 50 years. And as far as comparing myself to most people, I've done a lot. But I haven't really done a lot of the things that I envisioned for myself. I really haven't. Everybody's going to say the same thing. There's a lot left that they wanted to do, but I look back, and this is probably, again, maybe this is pretty normal. Hindsight's 2020, and I think of a lot of the years I wasted that didn't really turn out the way I thought they would. And it makes you just really realize even more so how time is just so precious and you can't waste any of it. I'm relatively young enough, and I'm certainly healthy enough to where I can make up for some of that, and that's my goal. I plan to. But there's some things it's just too late for, because your youth, your real youth, is gone, because funds are not there, because of, again, decisions that could have been made better. I'm not one to want to stockpile money or things. I think that's pretty futile. It doesn't mean a lot to me. But money does bring opportunity, and I respect that part of it. So I regret some of the things I've used my money for. I regret some of the time I've wasted that I could have been making money on pursuits that didn't yield the benefit that I was hoping for. This snowplow wants to get by me. He's like, what are you doing? So I guess my message today is, don't be selfish. You know, that's not going to bring happiness. Always have something to share. But man, don't be a burden to everyone else either. In other words, because you want to just go out and do your own thing. What happens when you, because you will, what happens if and when you get sick? Who's going to take care of you? Do you have money for that? Do you have a situation for that? What about when you get old? Are you just going to rely on your kid? I got one, that's it. Do I want to burden him with the last 20 years of my life? And taking care of mom? Heck no. So now I have to start planning for that, and I'm young enough to do that, but I got to buckle down. And at the same time, trying to get some of these experiences in that are on my bucket list that make me happy, so that I'm not miserable the next 20 years. Using the next 20 years, which I think I have, at least, yeah, good 20 years of working to save for when I can't work anymore. I see so many people totally wasting the money they make, totally wasting it on right now. And when I say waste, what I mean by that is it's not going to be things you're proud of later. It's not going to bring more value to you or anyone else. For instance, partying. That kind of encompasses what I'm trying to say, partying. But you know, people that have, little means, but they're drinking every day or every weekend and just throwing it away on filling the void. There's so many more productive things you can do with the money that I see wasted. Or going out to restaurants when you really can't afford it. Maybe you can afford it right now, but living paycheck, I got $50 left of my paycheck. I can go out to dinner. No, you can't. You're not going to save any of it? What about the things that you need? What about, if you're going to spend it on self-help in some way. I spent a lot of money on self-help. And I've got I've been kind of the guinea pig there. I kind of know what works, what's valuable, what's not. But for the most part, I made pretty good decisions that way. And it allowed, and it still allows me to be as productive as I am. because I feel like I spent it wisely. I didn't waste a whole lot of money, but what I do regret is some of the downtime I've had in some of my pursuits, where I could have been pursuing more of education and just more work. I work a lot, but when I was younger, I could have worked more. But just circumstances, I just didn't. I was married and raising a child, and just circumstances. But it could have been different. I guess what I'm feeling is think. Don't just think about today. Get out of your magical thinking mode and really think about reality and what you're going to need next month, next year, in 5 years, in 10 years. And stop and turn off the TV. Stop listening to media. Don't you understand that they're just trying to sell you something that's going to benefit them, not you? Don't you get that? You're being programmed. Even the whole, let me just give you an example that just popped in my head that's really random. Even the whole, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Who says? The breakfast making people do. Right? What proof is there that you have to eat breakfast at 8 a.m. of a bagel and cream cheese or cereal or something like that? Research Kellogg. The man, Kellogg, I don't know his first name. Research him. Research a lot of things like that. What you're going to find is going to be shocking. How a lot of these ideas, how they started. So just know that you have to think through things that you do, so that you're not what I call sheeple. You're not one of these little sheep, just following the rest of the crowd, or the ones that are wanting something from you that's not in your best interests. These people probably think I'm crazy. So that's my thoughts as I walk today. I'm going to walk a little bit more. This is the other coast. Here, I'll show you. The other coast, can you see it? Is right back there. So I went from one end to the other, or going at least. That's pretty much how wide this peninsula is. It's a lot longer than it is wide. You can look up Kotzebue on a map and see. But I'm going to go over here and I'm going to drop off this coat. Well, I made it to the other coastline. I wanted to show you what it looks like. It's got a mesmerizing type of a feel to it. The video is not going to show it. I'm sitting on this little guardrail here that's near the main road, coast. I think it's called Front Street. It's got two names. Front Street's one of them. And just listening to Pandora, and it's just very, very calming. Air is clean and fresh, at least it seems so. I walked down from the end here. There's some nice little lookout areas. I'm sitting on this little guardrail, frozen guardrail. Just contemplating life and decisions and all kinds of deep things. In this kind of environment, with this view, when you're in a state of mind where you can appreciate such things, it's really valuable. And allowing this whole experience to just wash over me and do with me as it wishes. So it's pretty cool.